Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial I'll show you how to model and texture this recurve bow you see right here. I'm making this video for beginners, but I'm not going to be teaching the basics of navigation. If you do want to learn navigation, I'll put a link in the description to a video done by I forgot his name suddenly. I'll remember in a second. Jonathan Williamson. He has a great tutorial that'll teach you all the basics of navigation. Okay, so this should be our final result right here. We'll be doing everything, of course, the modeling, texturing, the bump mapping. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do it. Open up a new scene in Blender. Oops, mouse is double clicking. Oh, there you go. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to be using a reference image just for more accuracy. I found the Longbow from Skyrim works quite nicely, so if you just Google Skyrim Longbow, you should find this page right here, and you can download this image here. I'll be using that. Now, we're going to be applying that image as a backdrop. So this is very easy to do. All we're going to do is hit N. I should turn on screencast keys. Hit N to bring up this menu here, and then enable background images, and then add image. Open, navigate to our recurve bow. The image we just downloaded, and then there we have it. Push numpad 3 to get into your right view mode. That's where we're going to be most of the time during this video. So yeah, okay. So now select your cube. You'll know if it's selected because you can see there's a when I selected it, there's a orange border appears around it. So select your cube, numpad 3 to go into right view mode, then hit Z or Z for wireframe mode, and then just so we can see what we're doing better, and then hit S and then drag your mouse towards the center of the cube to scale it. Alright, then hit G, Y to scale on the Y axis, and just move it over to match our reference image right there, and scale if you need to, just to match our image. Okay, now we're just going to tab into edit mode, and then A to deselect everything. A is basically just a toggle between select all and then deselect all. We can deselect everything, and then hit C. Make sure you're in wireframe mode before you do this. Remember Z. Yeah, okay, then hit C and then select these two bottom vertices. If you're not in wireframe mode, you'll notice that you only select these two. But if you are in wireframe mode, you'll select all four. That's what we want. So go ahead and select these two in wireframe mode and drag these to the bottom of and just to the top of the screen line here. The reason why we're doing this is because we're going to be adding a mirror modifier later. And then this over here where the screen line is, that's where our two meshes are going to connect. Okay, so go ahead and grab the top two vertices, and then we're going to hit E to extrude. We're going to bring this over just to about the center of here, and then hit G again, and then Y, just to move this over on the Y axis, just to about there. Then we're going to scale down, hit S, and then scale towards your mesh to scale down. Just going to scale it so it matches our reference image. Then we're going to do the exact same thing. Hit E, bring it up, just to about there. You can also just grab this arrow here and you can move it around. So you can do that, hit S, bring it towards the center of our selection, scale down. And then that's all we want for now. Okay, so now, of course, we want more loop cuts, more vertices in order to make it look more curved, more rounded. So we're going to hit Control R and then hover our mouse over where we want our new loop cuts. The purple line there represents where our loop cuts is going to be. So we're just going to scroll once and then click. We're going to do the same on the bottom here. Scroll once, click. And then we're just going to grab our new loop cuts and then match them with our reference image there, just like this. Yeah, one more. Select, scale, perfect. Okay, so that's all the loop cuts we can need for now. Yeah, okay. Now we're going to add our mirror modifier. So just go over here to the modifier menu. I can close this menu actually. So modifier menu over here, just by clicking on this wrench here. Add modifier, mirror modifier. Deselect the x-axis, and then select the z-axis. And then we want to enable clipping, because clipping will essentially join our original mesh with our mirrored mesh. So bring it down, and then just make sure you can see there it's clipped. It's not going to move now, unless you deselect clipping, of course. Okay, so this is where it gets a little more complicated, because we're going to be adding a groove where our string is going to be. So make sure everything is deselected by hitting A, then select these two vertices at the top here, E to extrude, and then we're just going to end this right there where our groove will begin. So just about there. We're going to select this one alone, hit G to move it, and just move it over there. And quick tip, if you want to align two things perfectly, sorry, that was my cell phone. If you want to align two things perfectly on the selected axis, just select the two vertices that you want to align, hit S, then hit the axis that you want to align it on. In this case, we want to align it on the Y-axis. Let's hit Y and then 0, and there we have it. Okay, so now we're not going to worry about this groove out now. We're just going to continue. Hit E to extrude, move it, match it up with our image here again. Just match it with the reference image. Then we're going to extrude it once more. Just about there. Grab this line at the bottom here. G to move. Well, G to grab, technically. I mean, we're grabbing it to move it. And bring that up about there. Then extrude again, and that's it. That's all we're going to need there. Okay, so now we're going to work on the groove where our string is going to be. So, hit Control R for another loop cut. It creates another loop cut there where our groove will end. So now we have two loop cuts where the groove begins and where the groove ends. So now we want to go here to face select mode. See what we have here is vertice select. That'll select each individual vertice. Then line, this will select. So that's my phone, I should turn that off quick. There we go. Just select each line, and then face, which will select each face, of course. Okay. So now we want to select these faces where our groove is going to be. So go ahead and select those. Then we want to E to extrude, and then right click to cancel the extrude, and then hit S to scale. We're just going to scale this down to about over there. And to make this easier for when we do add the string, I'm going to grab this vertice and bring it down to about. That kind of looks weird now. Okay, not so extreme. Just about there. That looks good. So I'd move it a bit left, just like that. And do the same with this one. Sorry, move it a bit left, just like that. That looks good. Okay, so now you'll notice that our bow looks very blocky and not very. It doesn't actually look like a bow yet. So we're going to add another modifier. This time it's going to be a subdivision modifier. So go over to the modifier menu again, the wrencher, add modifier, subdivision surface. So now you'll see we have a lot more detail, because basically what's done is subdivided it. We can toggle the amount of subdivides here, but this is fine for now. We can leave it there. And then you also want to go ahead and select optimal display. This is going to make it easier to see what's happening. Okay. So now our bow is looking a little rounded, but the bow that we're trying to create is more blocked. So now we have it too rounded. So let's go into front view mode by hitting numpad 1, then tab for edit mode, and create 2 more loop cuts just on either side of our mesh. We can do the same on the front view, on either side of our mesh there. Actually, this one can go back a bit over there. Okay, so now let's select smooth. Okay, so we're going to be rendering this in cycles renderer, so you can go over here and click on by Blender render. We can go hit cycles render. If you don't see cycles render here, you can go to blender.org to download the latest version of Blender. Okay, so now we just want to do a little more work on our groove here where the string is going to go. So let's add 2 more loop cuts on either side here, just to bring these edges closer together. And then we also want to, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have moved this. Let's keep this. So remember to deselect everything. You see what I just did there? I tried to move something else, but I hadn't deselected first. Okay, that's fine. Let's add 2 more loop cuts over there, either side of our groove there. Okay, and that looks good. Now I think that's it for our bow. We just have to add the string now. So let's go ahead and do that. You'll see when I was moving stuff around there, I accidentally moved my 3D cursor. If you want to put this back to the original position at x0, y0, z0, just hit Shift S and then cursor to center. So go ahead and do that. Yeah. Then we're going to hit Shift A to go to the Add menu. We're going to say Mesh, Circle. I want to scale the circle down to about string size. Scale it over to the string. It's still difficult to see the string here, so I'm going to open up this menu again by hitting N. And then turn the opacity of our background image up. Let's say 0.7. No, 0.8. That's fine. Don't make much of a difference. Alright. So scale this down so it matches our background image. About there, looks good. We're going to tap into edit mode, make sure everything is selected. And also again, when you add the circle, make sure you're in object mode, not edit mode. That's quite important. Go ahead and make sure that everything's selected there. And we're just going to bring this all the way up to actually, to save time, let's just bring this up to about over there. And then we're going to add a mirror. We're going to do it on the same as the bow on the z-axis, and then enable clipping. Actually, we won't enable clipping just yet because go to front view. We're going to delete half of the mesh on the left side, just like that, and enable the mirror on the x-axis, and then grab these at the top here, and we're going to slide this all the way up to where the string splits, and we'll then go over the groove of our bow. So just about I don't know, about there. Okay, well, it's looking good. Now let's go over to our numpad 1. And the reason why we mirrored this on the the x-axis is because just so we can save time when we do this. We're going to grab these, extrude them, and move them over here. Enable clipping over there. Because our string will split and then go around the groove of our bow. Okay, so let's just add this face here. So select these 4 vertices here. Control Z if you select something you don't want to select. You can just see if I select these, I can just Control Z to deselect instead of having to select everything all over again. Okay, so let's add these 4, and then just fill, just like that. That looks good. We're going to add about so many loop cuts. I'm sorry, I should have actually. That was yeah. We're going to add 5 more loop cuts. Then grab the center loop cut. Go back into front view, numpad 1. Move this to center almost, just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and select the next loop cut, just like that. And we're going to select, we're going to bring it over as well, so about there. And select the next loop cut on both sides. And then finally bring it over to about there. Then I can just align those on the yeah. Actually, this can go in a bit more. Okay, so now it looks like this one string is split into 2. So let's grab that new string and extrude that all the way up to where the groove of our bow is. Yeah. String might be a bit too thick actually, but that's alright. It's okay. Okay, so now this is going to be a bit tricky because we're going to have to make it curve around our bow. That's going to be okay. Let's just extrude over there, extrude over there. Okay, now we're going to rotate it a bit. So just hit R, and then move your mouse, move out to the top. R again, move to the top. E again, and then rotate it. Then E again, rotate it, and then S. There, X 0. Now we can connect it over there. Okay. Also, let's just scale this down a bit. To make it look like, yeah, that looks good. Oops, sorry, my bad. I scaled this as well, because that just looks weird. I shouldn't have started scaling now, I just messed up this whole thing. But that's alright, it looks okay. Okay, let's enable smooth, and just to add a subdivision surface. And this, because circles usually have so many vertices, it's very heavy on your computer. So I'm just going to keep this minimal, and I'm going to say view 1 and then render 1. And then I think that's it. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the first part of this series. The next video we'll be doing all the texturing and bump mapping. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.